Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Stock with Khan, and in today's video I'm gonna be talking about another hot stock that on the longer run could potentially reward you very well, and I'm highly bullish on this stock. There is also very good news that came very recently about this stock, so stick around because I think you will like this video as well. So welcome back. So the stock I want to talk about today is one of the most traditional American car company. It's called Ford. Just like General Motors, Ford is also very well known, and the current president of the state is also apparently driving one of the electrified. There is some rumors about it that he has probably reserved the well electrified version of Ford, that is F-150. Ford has recently announced that they are planning to spend $30 billion by end of 2025 to electrify their production of cars. And that is massive because there were, of course, some pledges coming from Ford as well as from GM. And Ford had beforehand spoken that they would like to spend $22 billion by end of 2023. But now they have extended that and they want to spend $30 billion by end of 2025. I think there is some roughly $8 billion that they are assigning or specifying for the battery production as well. I'm going to go through this article from Yahoo in which they are actually explaining what the CEO of Ford was speaking about. So you can see this article is from Wednesday 26, so it is from basically today. Ford Motor Co. on Wednesday outlined plans to boost spending on its electrification efforts by more than a third, and said it aims to have 40% of its global volume be all electric by 2030, sending shares up 6.8% to a near 5 years high. So actually, if we look here, it's 7.5% right now. So at this very moment that I'm making the video, the stock is up 7.5%. So as we read further, it is said that under a plan dubbed Ford Plus, meant to have investor value it more like a technology company, the NO2 US automaker said it now expects to spend more than $30 billion on electrification, just like I mentioned before, including battery development by 2030, up from its prior target of $22 billion. Now this is, here it's written 2030, but I read somewhere else that it was 2025. So you will have to double check on that. The CEO here is speaking, "This is our biggest opportunity for growth and value creation since Henry Ford started to scale the Model T," Ford Chief Executive Jim Farley said at the company's Capital Markets Day meeting online. "Our ambition is to lead the electric revolution." Now, just like I mentioned, Ford alongside GM, they're pledging and they want to dominate the EV market in the States, if not entirely in the whole world. And these are some high value pledges. Let's see if they can meet up with that and those promises, but apparently it seems very, very realistic. Ford and other global automakers are racing to shift their gasoline power lineups to all electric power under pressure from regions like Europe and China to cut vehicle emissions. US President Joe Biden has called for $174 billion to boost US EV production, sales, and infrastructure. I have talked about this several times in my previous videos, that Biden plans on spending tons on the EV sector in the next few years and expects to have 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations along all around the states. So I personally think Ford, being the leader in one of the most traditional company, so to say, in auto production, and want to shift that having already established infrastructure and shifting it to EV sector, I think they're going to be one tough competitor, and that for sure will have a really good impact on the stock price as we go on to the next few years. Further, it's been said that Ford's 2030 sales target would translate to more than 1.5 million EVs based on the last year's sales. By comparison, rival General Motors, I spoke about it, has targeted annual sales of more than 1 million EVs in the United States and China by 2025. Here they are just speaking about General Motors now aspires to halt US sales of gasoline-powered passenger vehicles by 2035 and has said it was investing 27 billion in electric and autonomous vehicles over the next 5 years. So of course Ford has competition in the name of GM, and I'm highly bullish on GM as well. If you are interested in GM and you want to know the fundamentals of GM, please Google hard stock GM and you will find it in my former videos. Further, as we go along, it is said that some analysts see Ford as trailing rivals in the electrification race, but Ford's officials disagree, pointing to the rollout of the Mustang Mach-E electric crossover and the electric version of the Transit Fan and F-150 pickup. Just like I mentioned before, this is one of their primary auto, so to say, main production that they want to actually electrify. And it is said that there are more than 7,000 pre-orders for F-150, the electrified version for Ford. That is really good news. For sure Ford is gonna dominate, if not dominate, it's gonna be one of the tough competitors in the States, alongside GM and Tesla. Ford said it also aimed to develop batteries under the Iron Boost brand, from lithium-ion version to lithium-ion phosphate for commercial vehicles, and eventually low-cost solid-state batteries in partnership with startup Solid Power, in which the automaker has invested. Farley expects Ford to cut battery costs by 40% by mid-decade. I think there is some really good news regarding Ford, based on what I have read so far, and just like I showed you the glimpse of this article as well. I'm personally highly bullish on Ford, and I see this as a very strong growth company. Please do your own research, but I'm personally highly bullish on it, and I'm gonna watch this stock. If there is some sort of correction still left and this stock goes down from this current price, which right now is just like I showed you, is now it's 8%. A few minutes ago it was 7.5%. If this stock from this price goes down, any time that it goes down, I will see this as an opportunity and I will load up on it. I think Ford has very strong fundamentals. Its PE is also very good. You can see it's 13.95. Anytime the PE is under 15, it's really good, and it's also its EPS is also in positive. You can't see it here, but I think on Yahoo Finance here exactly 0.99. So it's has very strong fundamentals, and I personally think that this stock will grow, just like I mentioned before, by in the next 3 to 5 years, so to say, massively, and you will have for sure massive returns on your investment if you're patient with your money. And as we see the advancement in the electrification of the cars from different companies, and thus some major so to say companies like Ford and GM alongside Tesla. So that was my video about another hot stock, that is Ford in today's video. I'm highly bullish on the overall electric market. I personally think that in the next 5 to 10 years we will see massive advancement in the EV sector, and some of those companies that are very traditional, especially in the States as well as in Europe. We also know that Ford is working together with Volkswagen. That is also giving them a very strong edge over the other competitors, because Volkswagen is for sure dominating in Europe, if not entirely in the rest of the world. having cars like Mercedes, BMW and Porsche. So if you found this video of value, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video.